Look at that, a metal garbage can stuck in the ground with a pipe directly from the toilet.
Human waste ends up in the ground once it leaves many of the 33 summer homes on Hen Island on the Long Island Sound in Rye, including the newest one.
Nowhere else in any village, any city, or any town in Westchester County is it allowed.
The pipe that comes out of the bathroom is right here. You could see it here. It goes into this tank, and 3 feet away is the high tide water line. Every time the tide comes up, it flushes out the tank.
I'm Ray Tartaglione, 10 Hen Island.
I have a letter here from Jim Carnicelli. Mr. Carnicelli is a 20-year member of the Board of Health in Westchester County. He used to be the vice president. Jordan Glass has read the letter to you.
I'd like to read to you a letter addressed to the Rye City Council from a licensed engineer. His name is James Carnicelli. I am currently a member of the Westchester Board of Health, having served as vice president of the board for over 20 years. I have visited Hen Island on numerous occasions, and I am aware of environmental issues which I refer to in this correspondence. The existing conditions at Hen Island are of concern to me because there are occurrences of sewage pollution affecting both the site and Long Island Sound. The homeowners do not have access to potable drinking water, which is usually provided. Water is collected by water cisterns, which allow for contamination and encourages mosquito larvae breeding.
Catherine Parker's silence for the last 2 administrations speaks volumes. Her inability to take a position on this is really a statement to how she handles issues. Catherine came out here. I spent a few hours with her, I want to say in 2009. We walked the north end, the middle end, the south end. And to my amazement, after she witnessed this failure after failure after failure, she was totally silent. I couldn't believe that she didn't take a position on the issues on Hen Island after she wanted to come out and take a look at it.
Westchester County has been testing the sound all along the shore. They do that periodically throughout the summer, and the tests have come back for our area, for Rye, very, pretty good.
Catherine Parker's theory is the solution to pollution is dilution. If I put 2 drops of urine in a quart of Catherine Parker's milk in the morning, she might not taste it, but it's there, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to be acceptable. The tests come back below rejected amounts. That's problematic in itself because Hen Island only has 33 homes. There's millions and billions of gallons in the Long Island Sound, so you're not going to get positive readings. Catherine Parker's statement, along with, she mimics Doug French and Scott Pickup, that we do testing in Milton Harbor and everything's okay.
Hen Island has been inspected and re-inspected and visited and revisited. It might be the most inspected, piece of property in the city of Rye.
Just because they do testing and the tests don't come back with unacceptable numbers, it doesn't mean that the people on Hen Island aren't polluting the water. I would say this to Catherine Parker: how much fecal matter matters? How much fecal matter matters? Is a little fecal matter okay, and a lot is not okay?
I think overall our sound is actually pretty clean.
I don't believe that every system on Hen Island is polluting the water, and I've said this before. But I believe that the systems that are 10 feet from the water line are polluting. And the Soundkeeper has called for testing on Hen Island. The county has never done any testing. The bottom line is this: why didn't they do flow and dye tests on every septic system on Hen Island? That would tell them right away if they were polluting the water or not. Forget about all the testing. All you have to do is look at the systems, and when they're 10 feet from the shores of the Long Island Sound, at the same height as the water table, you know there's a problem there. You don't have to be a rocket scientist.
To your potable water, now, if I recall from a video that you did with Franklin Chu on My Right.
To counteract my claim, she pulls out this video that I did with Franklin Chu, in 2005 or somewhere about 2005, I didn't do any of my research about the septic tanks on Hen Island. I didn't do any of the testing on the water tanks on Hen Island. I was subject at that time to the beliefs that I was told when I was on the board, that these systems are all grandfathered in, that they're not polluting, that they're safe, that there's no problems. And I didn't find out any of the contrary until I brought out engineers to test these systems, until I brought out specialists to test the water, and they told me that there was fecal matter in every tank on Hen Island. You know, for Catherine to use that Franklin Chu interview was irrelevant.
You have a filtration system for your water that you triple filter your water?
This is a storage tank just to build pressure, and then it's filtered a couple times before it goes in.
I do, but it's primitive.
And
Still doesn't make it potable.
It doesn't make it potable.
In Ms. Parker's response to me, she tried to insinuate, or she tried to come out with the fact that I had a sophisticated filtration system. Well, I do. It's probably the most sophisticated system on the island, but that still doesn't give me potable water. I'm still washing dishes with water that has bird feces in it. So I'm still taking a shower in water that has bird feces in it. She thought that she was going to say to me, look, you have a sophisticated system, why can't other people get sophisticated systems? I explained to her that even though my system is sophisticated, it's still not potable. So she reverts back to, well, then I have to go back to the concept that it's a seasonal residence.
Well, then I have to go back to the fact that at the end of the day, it is a seasonal and not permanent home.
Well, what does that mean in actuality? Does that mean because it's a seasonal residence, it's okay to use that water in the summer, and it's not okay to use it in the winter? What does a seasonal residence mean? Because you pollute the water during the summer months, and you don't pollute the water during the winter months, that's acceptable? It's not acceptable. You're not allowed to pollute any time. When the people on Hen Island are using Hen Island and polluting the water, it's the same time that the kids are swimming in Greenhaven, and the kids are over at AYC and Shenorock and Cloverly, and everybody's using the harbor at the same time. It's exposure that shouldn't be there any time of year, let alone in the summer months.
And I recall as a child going with my mother to visit friends of hers who had houses on Fire Island, and the sign by the sink saying, do not drink the water.
If you want to talk about Fire Island, I have friends who have houses on Fire Island. I can tell you now, you go out to Fire Island, if you need a drink of water, you open up a faucet and you get water. Times change. Times change all over. And the reason why they change is because responsible communities and responsible city council members and city managers and mayors require people to meet standards.
I do think that as far as the rain barrels go, certainly a covered top is a good thing. So I would suggest for your neighbors that they look at that.
Here's your screen cover.
That Catherine Parker says is a fix, the potable water issues on Hen Island. This is a covered water tank. Do you believe that mosquitoes aren't breeding in this tank?
I think there could be mosquitoes there.
And this city council isn't doing anything about it. My question is why?
Well, I don't know if I agree with your last sentence, but I appreciate that we've had this conversation and that you're here.